dear colleagues from Parliament, help us to position Kenya even better through your legislative function. Sometimes our neighbors want to raid. They want to raid functions from here, whether they are security related, whether they are economic related. And it is because sometimes we are stuck in Parliament through a protracted process. I really plead with you that let's take keener interest and accelerate that which is going to place Kenya at an even higher strategic level. My dear colleagues, the Middle East crisis has caused massive disruptions in global supply chains. Massive. What has saved us, especially in terms of the steady supply of fuel, we may argue about prices kidogo, but the steady supply of fuel was because Kenya has a G2G arrangement with the oil-producing countries. This one, Mr. President, you drove it. It was not anticipated, the war was not on, but you pushed and said that it's absolutely essential. We hedge our risks, and the best way to hedge our risks was to make sure that we have a G2G. I think it is paying off. And indeed, other countries are now coming on board. Rwanda has come on board to be part of this arrangement. And other countries are copying the template. That's a very serious statement in that area. Here in Nairobi, President Ruto led the groundbreaking ceremony with the Secretary General of the United Nations to put up a new headquarters complex. The estimated cost for the new UN expansion program is $380 million plus US dollars, which means when complete, apart from what Kenya is doing in Bomas with their own resources, the United Nations complex here at Gigiri will be able to host a UN General Assembly after the completion. Diaspora has also engaged in quite some substantial evacuation and repatriation. We have, in the last 5 years, helped 5,292 Kenyans in distress from various countries, including Sudan, Laos, Myanmar, Thailand, Malaysia, some in Saudi Arabia, Lebanon, UAE, Tanzania, Qatar, and more recently in South Africa, where there was the threat of xenophobia. Let us remember that this is the first government that has recognized the diaspora by granting a state department. It was never that way. It was always embedded within the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, quietly, as a small function, but it is now a state department. Within the diaspora engagement, let me just flag a few milestones. We have created the Diaspora Placement Agency. We have the Diaspora Investment Support Office. We have the Kenya Diaspora Investment Strategy, which has been rolled out. We have the placement scale, Kazi Maju. And ladies and gentlemen, within the period of 2022 to date, through the Kazi Maju program, working with the Diaspora and Ministry of Labor, job placements have hit for Kenyans abroad have hit 580,000. Outside, not here. Mobile consular services have been extended across 124 cities in 58 countries, and 16,000 Kenyans have been able to access consular services. And these are growing systematically. Our missions, and I think the AG is working very closely, they'll soon be able to completely do the marriages and everything that some of our people need in different parts of the world, so that we can make it easier. Under the consular services, they've received IDs, they've received support in different ways. Kenya, under the diaspora, has also set up the NCLX Examination Center, and this was a center that was established to be able to certify nurses who wish to go and work in countries like the United States, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. That center is here, they can be licensed here, and then they can proceed.